A peace anti-war introduction. They had several million-man marches over the years about a bunch of men marching with no agenda but peace. Gerald Celent has a peace rally every year in Kingston, New York. He barely gets any visitors or media coverage. His peace website is occupypeace.com. occupypeace.com/freedom-rally. I was brought up a few blocks from a naval base, CFB Halifax, during a time of peace. Even as a kid I couldn't understand why they were spending all that money on military hardware while we had homeless people right there beside the base on Gottingen Street. Back in the day when they had mail-order book clubs, I bought a world anthology of human history. It was 1,400 pages long, 3 columns per page, small font with most of the recorded events in human history. It was mostly about man's treachery to man. It never ends. It's like that 60s song by the original cast, One Tin Soldier. Kill the people on the other side of the hill and take their stuff. Cain killed Abel in the book of Genesis because he was jealous and wanted his stuff. Jealousy is the 10th commandment from the book of Exodus. Stealing is number 8. Add Dante Alighieri's first deadly sin of his 7 from the chapter called the Inferno in the Divine Comedy: pride, ego, arrogance, vanity, people thinking they're better than the next guy, or one tribe thinking they're better than the others or have a divine calling from God as special people. The thing is, we're all human beings. Ultimately there is just one tribe called humanity, but we always divide ourselves into groups and hate each other. The Jews who went to Palestine in the 1940s were mostly Khazarian as opposed to Hebrew. They originated in Europe as opposed to the Middle East. DNA tests show that Arab Palestinians are genetically similar to Hebrew Jews. Why do people who are ethnically similar fight? The fight is based on egomaniacs thinking they're different and better than the other guys. I went from a nice Catholic school where everybody treated each other with decency and respect to a military college where the system beat us down with an evaluation standard where everybody was ranked with everybody else. All of a sudden, I saw bullying, one-upmanship, competition and general ego games among young men who 3 months previous were average dudes going to high school, something like the novel Lord of the Flies by William Golding. At Catholic school, everybody was nice to each other. They told me military college was a Renaissance man school where the focus was on academics and personal development. They said there was no military there. You just wore a uniform. You did military training for 1 month in the summer. They lied to me. I went from a place where everybody was nice to a backstabbing Machiavellian hellhole. It was like that episode of Star Trek where everybody turned into their evil doubles, or that movie Sea Dogs with Edgar G. Robinson about a bunch of cutthroat pirates on a ship. For me as a 17-year-old, I went from a nice place to a place where they had a system of rewards and punishments that made everybody compete with each other for rank and status. I was able to watch normal Canadian kids degenerate into assholes because the system told them they were elitist leaders. In reality, they were snot-nosed kids with no experience in real life, but the military wanted to teach them some kind of superiority as officers without being blatant about it. That's how I started my adult life. I kind of became a competitive, egotistical asshole until I was about 25 when I realized that that's their game, not mine. I'm an individual who wants to live a good, free, fun life for me. I don't care about your standards and ideals as a society or the military. My life is my ride of the human condition. I don't need your bullshit anymore to tell me what's good and right. I became a free person. I'm bad for our society. I think for myself. I'm against taxes. I believe the human race can manage itself much better than getting countries to borrow money from banks who create that money out of nothing, then have them pay back that money at compound interest, which means that most people pay income tax and other tax. The hidden leader of this scam is the Bank for International Settlements in Basel, Switzerland at bis.org. This is a big scam that keeps the people down. Take their hard-earned money in taxes because of stupid scheme of scarcity. I thought our countries were supposed to be sovereign, meaning we, the federal governments, create our own money when and as required, not borrow it from bankers who create it out of thin air. This is modern-day slavery. If we lived in bountiful societies where people had a good standard of living from working normal jobs where they didn't exert themselves to the point of destructive stress or give their money away in taxes, there would be less negativity, hate and war in the world. When Captain Cook arrived on the Hawaiian Islands, the people there were living utopian lives. He thought he could steamroll the natives. They killed him. Magellan thought 18 of his men could conquer a Filipino island. They got him too. King Leopold of Belgium wanted a conquest, so he went to Rwanda and conquered them for the timber. The biggest trick the devil or supernatural evil pulled is to convince the world that it doesn't exist. I feel like the human race is flawed by who we are. We have a greedy, selfish way about ourselves. The explorers went out into the world not for adventure but in a quest for treasure. Nowadays, people still have egos but they manifest differently. Back then, they wanted to conquer a land and get rich. Nowadays, the people they talk about in Forbes magazine are the egotistical barons of the day. Several people on the covers of Forbes later made it on the TV show American Greed. Are we naturally evil and greedy? Can we live in peace and harmony? I believe that if people can grow up in a win-win society where everybody benefits from positive hard work rather than a scarcity society where everybody is competing for the money and stuff, maybe we can live in more peaceful societies. This book is about the peace/anti-war movement. I created it as a voice for people who want to use our resources for the good of humanity, but I know it would be hard to do that because the military industry is the biggest industry in the world. How would you stop any country from using all that money and resources for the military and use it to help the people directly? It's really hard because there are many people making money off the military infrastructure. They all want their piece of the money. It's hard to change swords into plowshares. Capitalism is good, but runaway capitalism benefits the rich guys while keeping the peasants down. People want to protect their stuff and money and want more of it. That's why you can't tell people earning money from the military to be peaceful because it would affect their ability to make money. Mark Twain was an activist against the American-Spanish War. He died. The powers that be went on and did what they always do, win in the end. They're the powerful institutional machine. Smedley Butler, an American general, wrote his book War is a Racket in 1937, but it didn't change anything. We fight wars for material gain, not freedom. So what? It's not a revolutionary insight. It's the way it has always been. Why did Alexander the Great cross the Mediterranean Sea to invade the world? I saw a TV show trying to portray Vikings as noble people. They were plunderers and rapists. Money, power, greed, and ego rule the world. In Visions of Heaven and Hell by John Bunyan, the angel looked back at the little speck of light called Earth and said, "It's amazing what people do for a little bit of stuff on that little planet down there. What good does it do to sell your soul for crap in the world?" Fat cats have run the world since biblical times. There are a few rich people in power everywhere you go. Our democracies are fake democracies. They're really oligarchies, ruled by a wealthy few. The people who really run any country are the politicians, the people who own the political parties, the rich people, big-shot business people and so-called public policy groups like the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, the World Economic Forum, the Jesuits, etc. If you threaten their wealth, they will get you somehow. That's the way it works. Case in point, the Occupy movement after the 2008 banking and real estate meltdowns. A bunch of activists rose up, had a run for a few months, then disappeared. Ephesians 6:12 in the Bible states, "For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places." King James Version. This means that some kind of evil supernatural force runs the world. Some people think it's an organized force of secretive fallen angels or Nephilim, human fallen angel hybrids, from the Book of Genesis. The first thing they taught me in religion class in Catholic school was that we're all evil by nature. We save ourselves by believing in Jesus Christ. I read The Prince by Niccolo Machiavelli about how to get ahead in life by being as evil as you can be but on face pretending you're good. I lived through institutions made up of men and women on face pretending we were good, righteous people, but behind the scenes many were ambitious to the point of backstabbing each other. It's that way it is among humans. The only solution as far as I can see is genetic engineering. Take out the selfish, greedy, jealous, egotistical part of our genes. Until then we will live in this prison planet called Earth. There is no paradise anywhere. Go on the website bestgore.fun and see what evil things people do to each other for pleasure and gain. When they tighten the economy, the people get too busy earning a living and paying taxes to care about people getting killed in wars. The people are ultimately controlled by the monetary system. See the videos by Bill Still. Make money hard to get by taking it out of the money supply and raising interest rates. This will cripple the economy and make many people desperate. The military industry is good for the economy. It constantly creates new weapons, supplies the soldiers and cares for the wounded veterans. I grew up watching military guys live a good life. We got a military-owned 18-hole golf course here called Heartlands Point, heartlandpoint.ca. The nightlife and pizza shops around here probably get 35% of their business from the military. Those people will not rise up and say we don't want to waste our public money on military stuff. Let's have peace and use that money to build schools and hospitals. Ain't gonna happen. For 50 years, nothing has changed around here. I go over the bridge and see those military ships below. I think what a colossal waste of money and energy that we could have used to build houses, schools, and hospitals. People are afraid to criticize the military because they bring jobs to the area even though they're useless jobs that add nothing to the progress of humanity. They holler national security, but everyone knows nobody is going to attack us. I'm talking about United States and Canada. We're too big. There are too many rednecks and hillbillies around here. Nobody is going to mess with our way of life, so don't waste money on a threat of war. Politicians don't have the guts to fight against military funding because the military represents votes. If you live in a town like I do where the military adds about 15,000 military jobs to the economy, 20,000 civilian jobs plus all the stuff they buy from local businesses, it's hard to criticize them. Nobody ever says you guys are wasting all that taxpayer money doing nothing productive. If everyone was enlightened, we would all be individuals. We wouldn't be Jews, Muslims, or Christians allying together, thinking they're better than the others, sometimes uniting to kill the others. We're all loners going through life. In the end, we stand before God as individuals. With all the near-death experience/NDEs I listened to, it's likely that when you die, your soul leaves your body in an undramatic way. There is no great difference in your consciousness. You transition from body to spirit very easily. There will be some kind of judgment for every individual in the afterlife according to all the NDEs, exorcism, and demonic possessions I studied. There is enough for me to get my piece of the pie to live a good life. I don't have to fight other people to get more material things. There is no sense fighting because we're all human beings stuck here trying to live decent lives. The problem starts when a person or group does something bad to another person or group, then they want to get them back. It goes on and on. People have that own-upmanship evil inside of themselves. Where do we go from here? It's simple if somebody has got the guts to do it. Set up an online voting agency in your country. This would be a simple website like onlinevoting.gov. Citizens go on, type their social security number and then type their zip code in, which will be used as their password in the future. This is a change to a new system of government where the people vote online on all the big issues that matter. We govern ourselves online. We, the people, create ideas and vote on them. We eliminate the system of evil people as in politicians, bankers, and wealthy people who rule us now. We don't need masters. That's an illusion we were brainwashed by since we started going to school and watching TV. When we get rid of politicians to rule ourselves, most of the corruption ends. We, the people, will vote to spend the money on the things that really matter. Military and national security spending will go way down because wise people know these things are mostly unnecessary, not relevant to most people's real lives as they live day by day. People want education, jobs, housing, medical care, industry, and a guarantee of a modest standard of living for everyone. We can change the world if enough people unite in most countries to create the online voting agency. Create the referendum and the people vote to change the government from total rule by politicians to at least one institution being the online voting agency. This can replace the Senate. True democracy is self-rule by everybody. Set up a website like onlinevoting.gov, onlinevoting.ca. Let the people go online, type in their social insurance/social security number, type in their postal/zip code to be used as a password. Start with this one question. What should the military budget be? Increase it by 10%. Keep it the same. Reduce it by 25%. Reduce it by 50%. Reduce it by 75%. Reduce it by 90%. Reduce it by 95%. Get rid of the military, keep a national air rescue system of helicopters and search planes, keep the Coast Guard for rescue. Whatever choice the majority of the people vote for becomes law. That's how easy it is to do the will of the people. The people in power would be deathly afraid of losing their power to the online voting agency, while the people in general are so beaten down and scared of making waves because of political correctness and a hard economy that they're a bunch of pacified conformist wimps. We could create great societies for ourselves if the people rule themselves through online voting. Do the people of any country have the guts to unite to demand a national referendum to start ruling themselves through one of their government bodies? We don't have to totally transition to people power democracy in one fell swoop. The United States and Canada each have a Senate, a Congress/Parliament and a head dude. Replace the Senate with the online voting agency where people create their own ideas and vote on them online, plus they vote on the bills their House and President/Prime Minister come up with. It's easy to do. The important thing is that the bills/ideas have to be simple, easily expressed in a sentence so that the people can vote on them clearly without any ambiguities. Some of the bills that parliaments and chambers come up with are many pages of pork barrel spending. We have to keep it simple, like, should we get rid of the National Security Agency and use that money for education? Should we offer free college tuition to all our citizens? If an issue can't be expressed in the form of a simple question, then chances are that it's a bunch of deceptive double talk geared to favor someone other than the people en masse. Politicians say they need to debate and discuss the issues to bring insights to them. They claim that democratic debate is the special power of Parliament. I say put the debate online. They do it on Twitter X all the time. The government sets up a website for the people to create ideas in an online forum where they discuss them, much like they do on Twitter X or any online forum. This website could be called something like townhall.gov, townhall.ca. This is how we get good ideas to improve our lives as the human race. The people, journalists, business interests, non-profits, and intellectuals will discuss and debate the issues there in a totally open forum, everybody equal, directed at creating new ideas to improve our countries. We have a couple of moderators sift through them, then put the good ideas up for a vote by the people at onlinevoting.gov, onlinevoting.ca. There's your big idea to try for a peaceful, prosperous world, but we're run by a small group of elitists who will fight tooth and nail to never let it see the light of day. Meanwhile we, the people, have the real power. I saw the Million Man March, the Occupy movement and the Arab Spring. In all these cases, the people did not have a simple tangible idea to dramatically improve society. They were a bunch of people all gathered together without a strong focus to improve society with a simple idea. The idea is an online voting agency where the people vote on the bills, not politicians. We have the ability to defeat the few elitists who run the Bank for International Settlements and the Federal Reserve, private banks who appointed themselves the creators of the world's money supply. They create money out of thin air, lend it to our governments and banks and want this money back at compound interest. We're slaves to them. We pay income tax in order to pay the interest on this debt that these banks did not work for. They created this money in a computer and on paper while people all over the world work hard and sweat to earn money to pay taxes to their governments in order to pay these debts to these bankers. We can smash this worldwide slavery. We just need guts. We don't need the elitists at the World Economic Forum, the Bilderberger meetings, the Bohemian Grove meetings, the Council on Foreign Relations, the Open Society Foundation or AIPAC, the American-Israel Public Affairs Committee running the world as unelected shadow fat cats with that facade called representative democracy with those political soap operas on TV all the time, pretending that's the best we got, a bunch of low-level assholes pretending they're helping the people when in reality, they're all living large in that bubble called Washington, D.C., or Ottawa. I just looked up the U.S. Congress public approval rating. It's 15%. Politicians try to shroud the decision-making process in mystique to fool the citizens into thinking it's much more complicated than it really is. They got their committees, their feasibility studies, their consultants from fake fields like the social sciences, their statistics from the Census Bureau, their lobbyists, and their shadow government, unelected government employees who do what they want. It's a big smokescreen to make it seem like they're studying the issues really hard to make the right decisions. Issues and decisions are simple. I say if given the chance, the people would vote the right way to improve society for us, not for the military-industrial congressional complex. If the people could vote on the Pentagon's budget, that would be the end of that massive military compound. The United States could have public health care. We could go to Jacques Fresco's ideas in his Venus project as discussed in the two Zeitgeist movies and his YouTube channel. He had the right idea to try to create some kind of utopian society for ourselves where machines do a lot of the work. I offer every journalist this test to see how much your elected leader and/or party does the will of the people. Take the last 10 bills your party in power has passed into law, put them in the form of simple questions, then set up an online survey to get a view of how much the will of the people differs from what your party in power does. In a true democracy, the people as a group know what's best for life in their society. All that complicated double talk, the committees, the studies, etc. will be minimized. We go straight to the will of the people. Forget about the fake representative democracy lie we have now. Representative democracies barely exist anywhere because people are too selfish by nature. Representative democracy is the illusion of democracy, like professional wrestling, a performance for the people, but in the backrooms, the politicians, the unelected party bosses and their allies, anyone with deep pockets who gives them money, do what they want for their benefit. Every system in the world, regardless of what it's called on face, is an oligarchy, ruled by a wealthy few. Communism, democracy, republic, dictatorship, and socialism are all the same. It's always ruled by a wealthy few. I figured this out at about 5 years old when I saw my first parliamentary session on a black and white TV. I intuitively knew it was theater because it was cordial and easygoing. I figured if someone was truly trying to help the people in a real way, seeing that there is so much misery and need in the world, they would be intense, urgent, and desperate about it. Every president back to JFK has declared war on poverty, yet here is what then Secretary of Defense Donald Rumsfeld said on September 10, 2001, about the Pentagon's business practices. The technology revolution has transformed organizations across the private sector, but not ours, not fully, not yet. We are, as they say, tangled in our anchor chain. Our financial systems are decades old. According to some estimates, we cannot track $2.3 trillion in transactions. According to thesta-Ndia-RDSC.org/Shane-Trejo/September-1000-2001-2-3-at-the loss was up to $21 trillion in 2015. The United States military is so bloated that it loses track of multi-trillions of dollars, while we have poor people, homeless people, sick people without medical coverage, and people who can't afford college all over the United States. Is this what the people want, to put all that money into the military while having people sleeping in tents in the middle of winter? Of course not. Politicians don't represent the people. If they did, we would be building plowshares instead of swords. Politicians are a bunch of punks. I have not heard one say let's get rid of the military and use all that money to build houses, hospitals, and schools for our people. Costa Rica is one of the few countries who consciously does not waste their money on a military. They use their money for education and medical care. You can see it in the movie A Bold Peace. We can do it on one fell swoop. Let the people vote online as to what the military budget should be. Here are the lyrics from One Tin Soldier, theme from Billy Jack. Song by the original cast. Listen children to a story that was written long ago. About a kingdom on a mountain, and the valley both below. On the mountain was a treasure, buried deep beneath the stone. And the valley people swore they would have it for their very own. Go ahead and hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven, you can justify in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing come the judgment day. On the bloody morning after, one tin soldier rides away. So the people of the valley sent a message up the hill, asking for the buried treasure. Tons of gold for which they'd kill. Came an answer from the kingdom. With our brothers we will share all the secrets of our mountain, all the riches buried there. Now the valley cried with anger. Mount your horses, draw your sword. And they killed the mountain people, so they won their just reward. Now they stood beside the treasure, on the mountain dark and red. Tiered the stone and looked beneath it. Peace on earth was all it said. Go ahead and hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven, you could justify in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing come the judgment day. On the bloody morning after, one tin soldier rides away. Go ahead and hate your neighbor, go ahead and cheat a friend. Do it in the name of heaven, you could justify in the end. There won't be any trumpets blowing come the judgment day. On the bloody morning after, one tin soldier rides away. Here is Charlie Chaplin's speech from the 1940 movie The Great Dictator. The Great Dictator speech. I'm sorry, but I don't want to be an emperor. That's not my business. I don't want to rule or conquer anyone. I should like to help everyone if possible, Jew, Gentile, black man, white. We all want to help one another. Human beings are like that. We want to live by each other's happiness, not by each other's misery. We don't want to hate and despise one another. In this world there's room for everyone and the good earth is rich, and can provide for everyone. The way of life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls, has barricaded the world with hate, has goose-stepped us into misery and bloodshed. We have developed speed, but we have shut ourselves in. Machinery that gives abundance has left us in want. Our knowledge has made us cynical. Our cleverness hard and unkind. We think too much, and feel too little. More than machinery, we need humanity. More than cleverness, we need kindness and gentleness. Without these qualities life will be violent, and all will be lost. The aeroplane and the radio have brought us closer together. The very nature of these inventions cries out for the goodness in men, cries out for universal brotherhood, for the unity of us all. Even now, my voice is reaching millions throughout the world, millions of despairing men, women, and little children, victims of a system that makes men torture and imprison innocent people. To those who can hear me, I say do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed, the bitterness of men who fear the way of human progress. The hate of men will pass and dictators die, and the power they took from the people will return to the people. And so long as men die, liberty will never perish. Soldiers, don't give yourselves to brutes, men who despise you, enslave you, who regiment your lives, tell you what to do, what to think, and what to feel, who drill you, diet you, treat you like cattle, use you as cannon fodder. Don't give yourselves to these unnatural men, with machine minds and machine hearts. You are not machines, you are not cattle, you are men. You have the love of humanity in your hearts. You don't hate, only the unloved hate, the unloved and the unnatural. Soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man. Not one man, nor a group of men, but in all men. In you, you the people have the power to create machines, the power to create happiness. You the people have the power to make this life free and beautiful, to make this life a wonderful adventure. Then, in the name of democracy, let us use that power. Let us all unite. Let us fight for a new world, a decent world that will give men a chance to work, that will give youth a future and old age a security. By the promise of these things brutes have risen to power, but they lie, they do not fulfill their promise. They never will. Dictators free themselves, but they enslave the people. Now let us fight to fulfill that promise. Let us fight to free the world. To do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason, a world where science and progress will lead to all men's happiness. Soldiers! In the name of democracy, let us all unite. Look up! Look up! The clouds are lifting, the sun is breaking through. We are coming out of the darkness into the light. We are coming into a new world, a kind new world where men will rise above their hate and brutality. The soul of man has been given wings, and at last, he is beginning to fly. He is flying into the rainbow, into the light of hope, into the future. That glorious future that belongs to you, to me, and to all of us. Look up! Look up!